Hey Parker, I don't know what day it is, this is pre-recorded. So in your video last time, or one of the times, you talked about your fears, and one of them was about coming out to your parents, and then I realized I never told you about that I came out to my parents. So this is going to be like a little quick summary of my coming out to two of the people in my family. So, funnily enough, it happened on the day of the Supreme Court ruling to grant marriage equality to all 50 states, so not long ago at all. Basically, I was talking about how awesome the news was and how excited I was that, like, in all 50 states now, anyone could get married as long as, they're two consenting adults and, all that, and I was just, like, so pumped. Everyone was so happy. And I ended up talking to my dad about it, and I don't even know how we got on the topic. And I think I said something along the lines of, I'm so happy that, like, I can get married to whoever I want. And he was like, you mean that you're liberal, so you're not opposed to women marrying women? And I was like, well, yeah, that, and I don't know if I'm going to end up with someone who identifies as a man or a woman or outside of the gender binary. And my dad was like, no, but you mean that you're liberal enough that, like, you don't care if girls get married to girls. And I was like, well, no, or maybe someday I will get married to girls. Or girl. And this shocked him, which I don't think it should have, but I guess I can see why. Because for the past maybe a year or so, I've just been kind of, like, coming out to my parents, like, in little bits, like, saying things along the lines of, playing the pronoun game where I never refer to someone who I may eventually be in a relationship with as he or she, or, I usually refer to as they because that's, a genderless pronoun. I also say things like, if I get married to a man or a woman or things like that. And so me outright saying that, like, maybe I'll get married to a woman seemed to really shock my dad specifically. My mom just stayed out of it. I've told her before. I guess this just confirmed it. But basically, my dad and I went through about 10 reiterations of him saying, no, but you like boys. And me going, well, I like guys. Like, I don't care about the gender of a future partner. And then him asking again, no, but you like boys. And then me again going, no, I don't care about the gender of a future partner. And then I eventually got to the point where I was like, boys, girls, or someone who doesn't identify in the gender binary. And he was just very shocked. And I was like, I've been telling you this sort of for like a year. I don't really make it a hidden fact. But apparently it was still a shock. And then we kind of dropped it for the night. And then the next morning he came downstairs and I, like, woke up and he was like, but you're gonna get married to a boy, right? And I was like, I don't know. And then again, we went through about, like, 10 reiterations of that because my dad likes to repeat himself. And eventually I just said, we'll see in the future. We don't need to be worrying about that right now. And that's my coming out story. Of course, there's more people in my family rather than just my parents, but as of right now, I'm not concerned about coming out to them. I don't know if I ever will, unless I do end up with a female partner at some point, because it just doesn't need to be hugely public knowledge. Coming out is always a terrifying thing. I'm very lucky that my parents just kind of took it in stride, I guess. Like, they had a pretty good reaction to it, I'd have to say, considering what some reactions kids get. But Parker, if you ever do decide to come out to your family, which, again, it's completely up to you whether or not you ever do, I wish you good luck and I'll be here for you regardless, because coming out is terrifying and it's not for everyone. So, everyone has the choice. You don't have to disclose your sexuality. No one else discloses theirs. If someone is heterosexual, they don't come out to everyone as, I'm heterosexual. It's just implied. So that was just a fun little story time. I got very, very lucky, so I love my parents. I always do. They're awesome. Parker, I'm on vacation right now, so I'll see you tomorrow. DFTBA, stay super. Bye.